But the 49ers and the Raiders are playing right now. It is just about to be halftime. The 49ers are up 14-3, and they still have Trey Lance in there. And the reason they got to 14 points, it wasn't any passing touchdowns. It was 2 rushing touchdowns, one by Jimmy G and one by Trey Lance. I thought it was very notable, Sully, that Kyle Shanahan, I believe it was Albert Breer who he first told, suggested that he was going to do alternating quarterbacks. And everybody's like, oh, that's ridiculous. You can't do that. Chris Leak and Tebow are the only ones that ever made it work. But then he did it, and it worked.
It was insane. And I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo got the start in this game. And on the first drive, you're getting a nice mix.
It was the third play. Trey Lance came in. They subbed him out. And then they brought Jimmy back in on the 4th play. And then the 5th play, they brought Trey Lance back in.
And then when they got to the red zone, it was all Trey Lance with that one up until Jimmy Garoppolo ran for the touchdown. So, I mean, it is very interesting to see how they're going to kind of go about this. You know, I know that you love it. I'm a little bit more cautiously optimistic in terms of just looking at it as a fan standpoint and looking at it from a fun standpoint. I think it's going to be great to watch. How great is it for the 49ers? And ultimately, how is it for the development of Trey Lance? Because, you know, yes, it's kind of exciting to see this kind of up-tempo, and it's working against the Raiders, but it's working against the Raiders in the 3rd preseason game of the summer.
They have no starters out there.
Right. So when you're actually playing in these games, you know, it almost reminds me a little bit of, you know, the New Orleans Saints when they had the Drew Brees, Taysom Hill type of situation. It almost felt like Sean Payton at times. It would annoy me where it's like, all right, you had something grooving there and you almost feel like you have to put in Taysom Hill. I don't want Kyle Shanahan to feel like he has to continue to mix and match it. It's interesting right now. It's certainly going to give the Detroit Lions a complete popsicle headache to try to figure out in week 1. But I am a little cautious about just how actually impactful it's going to be once you get the starters in the regular season.
I think it's also possible that he is less aggressive with it in week 1 or week 2 or week 3. And that he's, in fact, and the reason why you would think he would be less aggressive with it is that 1, he leaked this out that he was thinking about doing this. And then 2, he actually went and did it in the preseason. So it's a little odd that you go and, so if you're playing, and it is odd too that they're playing the Lions, right? You know, it's like, by the way, did you say popsicle headache?
Popsicle headache, yeah.
I like that. Like an ice cream headache.
Like a brain freeze, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I like that. That's good. I mean, Dan can't, like, you're a 7-point favorite on the road. Do you really need is now? I mean, I guess the only time you can do it is in the preseason if you're going to mess with your opponent's heads and force them to prep for all this. But that's why I kind of think, because remember the Shanahans when they were with Washington did not run a single read option play in the preseason when RG3 was a rookie, and then week 1 brought it out to devastating results for other teams. So I sort of wonder if. That just makes my head, like, I sort of wonder, like, is Kyle Shanahan trying to make work for somebody else? If he's doing that, why would you do it with the Lions? And then, you know, or is this just, all right, look, I'm really doing this. As you can see, it works. And now we're going to do it in the regular season. Please don't question me. I'm a play calling genius.
Yeah, no, it could be a combination of all of that. I mean, there is certainly a gamesmanship to it, right? Of just, you know, sure. not even for week 1. It's anytime, you know, anytime Sean McVay's looking at tape, he's a guy that's going to completely say, hey, we know that these guys can do this. We're seeing them 2 times a year. Let's keep an eye on this. And even if it takes, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes just in a meeting, that's exactly what Kyle Shanahan wants to do. So it could just be a gamesmanship scenario. But also,
if the defensive staff for the Rams is spending an extra 4 to 5 hours in a week to prepare for this, that is creating problems for the Rams. So that is taking away 4 to 5 hours they can prepare for your regular offense.
And that's just the minimum of what this was for Kyle Shanahan. I mean, at the very bare minimum, that's what this does that we just saw in that opening drive and pretty much throughout the first half here in that game with the 49ers. I'm interested to see how it goes. Like I was saying, I'm a little bit cautious about it. I do look at it from a standpoint of, okay, how much are you going to make Trey Lance? I don't want Trey Lance to become gimmicky. I don't want him to be, you know, in a scenario where it was last year in Miami where Tua's coming in and then all of a sudden Fitzpatrick's going out, and it's really hurting the development of Trey Lance because ultimately they traded up to the number 3 overall pick. They invested a ton to get Trey Lance in here. You don't want to all of a sudden turn into a gimmicky quarterback right out of the gate here, as much as you want him on the field and Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah,
my counter to that, and I agree with you, like, you do not want that to happen, but my counter to that would be by using Trey Lance this way, you are getting him value, like you're getting him more reps than you would be getting Jimmy Garoppolo who's playing well and not like in a game garbage reps. Like you're using him as a weapon. You use his legs as a weapon. And I would assume that they'll build off of it if, like, you know, in other words, you have these read option plays where Trey Lance is running in for a touchdown, where you build off of that with some play action where, it's a RPO or whatever it is, and he throws over the top to George Kittle, who leaks out. So, I mean, there's ways that they'll build off of it. Kyle Shanahan's a smart guy. I think it'll be viable, but I agree with you. Like, there are reasons to be concerned about what they're doing. It's not something that has traditionally worked in the modern NFL, and if that's the case here. But I trust Kyle Shanahan is basically
absolutely
what I'm getting at.